It's been rough.
All right, guys, go ahead and raise your hand for questions for Coach Moore. Seth, go ahead.
Hey, Terry, how's your hand?
Oh, it's good. I'm ready to roll. Ready to go.
Not a game time decision?
Not a game time decision. I'll be available if they need me.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask about Sarah. I mean, she's coming off the bench right now for the first time, pretty much in her college career. Just, how did that kind of go down, when you made that call, and how was she adjusted to that role?
Well, obviously when we got Grace back, we had to make a decision. And at the time, we just felt like as a staff that Sid Parrish was really playing some very good basketball. And not that Sarah wasn't, but it was, purely by the numbers and statistics that, they don't lie. And we just felt like, again, whether we brought Sid off the bench or Sarah off the bench, we were still going to get have a very high level elite player, and that was going to be able to give us something. And, I think we just felt at the time that Sid deserved the opportunity to stay in the lineup. But, Sarah handled it terrifically, just like Sid did early on. They both realized that we've said it from the beginning that we essentially have 6 starters on this team. And, she's still playing the same amount of minutes that she did as a starter, Sarah is. And so really nothing has changed other than the fact that, instead of being in the lineup, she comes off the bench quite quickly. And that's our rotation right now. So, but, give her credit. She's shown terrific maturity in terms of how she's handled it. And, she's played some big minutes and has been really big in a lot of these games, especially down the stretch.
Amanda.
Hi, Coach. I'm
Hi.
wondering what it looks like for you guys right now as you're prepping for your game tomorrow. How do you prep when you don't know the team that you're going to be playing until essentially like 24 hours before?
Well, in the last few days that we've been in Bloomington with our scout guys, we've prepped for a little bit of everything. You're right. We don't know if it's going to be Michigan State or Nebraska, but we've worked from, our man-to-man sets to zone sets to press attack. I've gone back from, sort of the beginning with, our shell defense, worked on, certain things that we've used in terms of doubles and, whatnot. And so we took the last couple days to take advantage of our scout guys to really work. We've looked ahead at the potential matchups that we might have and have really just picked, okay, things that we're gonna have to be ready for, and have used, this time, I think, very wisely. What I've loved is, we took Monday off, and then Tuesday and Wednesday yesterday, our kids have been off the charts in terms of phenomenal with how they've shown up, and they've had really 2 good days of practice, and I anticipate another one this afternoon.
Skip.
Hey, Coach.
You're on mute, Skip.
Congratulations on the award. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Congratulations on the award. I have a similar question as Amanda, a little bit of a follow-up. You've always been on game to game, day to day. Of course, this is a little different now in tournaments. In the Big Ten tournament, you have the luxury of having played these teams before. How does your prep for tournaments change between Big Ten tournament and an NCAA tournament where you might not have seen these teams in the past?
Our preparation doesn't change. I have a phenomenal staff, and Box, his scout is Nebraska, and Coach Rhett, his scout is Michigan State, and then we'll go from there. But that's one of the things about having the veteran staff that I have is, we're always ready and prepared. But I think the most important thing to note is that these players, their maturity level that they've shown, how they want to know how we're going to beat the opponent. They're locked into the scouting report. always. And so, nothing really changes other than, we don't have the 2 days in between to, to turn around and prep. It's a tournament. So, the turnaround is happens faster. And but my staff has always been terrific, and especially with this year's group, they've shown, we've done this, we did it at Vegas, where you had a short turnaround and whatnot. So this isn't our first rodeo, from that perspective of having to go from game to game.
Jim,
Perfect. Speaking of rodeos, Terry, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. This team is so balanced. They're fun to watch because of that balance. What is it that you want to see from them in this Big Ten tournament? Because no matter what happens in the Big Ten tournament, that's not going to really affect much for you guys in the NCAA tournament. But you can use that in whatever way you see fit. But what is it that you want to see from this team as they moving forward onto the bigger stage?
Well, I think the first game in a tournament play like this is always the most important. So, I want us to come out and play well. And then I think that's when you generate some momentum to the next round, and then the next round. What I want to see from this group is I want them to be able to achieve the goal that they have, and that's to win it, come Sunday. And and we realize that the opponents that are ahead of us, are their goal. That's their goal as well. And, some of them are playing for different reasons, as you mentioned, some are playing to get into the tournament. And so there's a desperation, for some of these teams. And that's always a concern, especially in the first round. But again, we are, I wouldn't say that Sunday at Iowa was our best 40 minutes. We've played much better than that. And our kids, I think, know that. That's why I've been so excited about how they've shown up here in the last couple of days. Because, we know we let one slip away, and there's a little bit of, frustration, bitterness with that, which isn't a bad thing. But they also have flushed it, and they're ready to move on. They've, we've learned lessons, and gotten better. And so I just, for this group, I just hope that, and I know that they're going to show up, come tomorrow at 11:30, 12:30, you guys' time, and, be ready to get back on the floor. And I think I said this the other night, sometimes the best recipe after a stinger like we had on Sunday is to quickly get back on the floor. And I think that holds true for us right now. We're really eager to get back on the floor and compete.
Sam Rogers.
Hey, Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. And my name's Sam. I'm a reporter from Portland, Maine, so I'm sure you can guess who I'm going to be asking about. But Mackenzie's obviously been having such a tremendous season for your team. Just would love to hear how, she may have exceeded your expectations, throughout the regular season heading into this tournament, and also just how you found a girl from Gorham, Maine to head over to Indiana.
Well, to answer your second question, there's been well documented. We found Mac in, one of the back courts, in an AAU tournament. She obviously wasn't on the EYBL circuit. And so, she was sort of a hidden gem. And one of my assistants, Rhett Wiersba, his brother, who's Ben, and who's an assistant at Mercer, just happened to be watching a game where Mackenzie was playing. And Ben mentioned to Rhett, hey, I think you should take a look at this kid from Maine. I think, and the rest is history. Rhett looked at her. I went to see her. I fell in love with her as soon as I watched her run down the floor and sprint ahead of everybody. And then we recruited her. We didn't know if we were going to be able to steal her out of Maine, but sure enough, she's been a part of, what we've done for the last 5 years. And she has not exceeded my expectations at all. This is what we've expected from Mac, because she's such a terrific player, with unbelievable footwork, soft hands, quick hip. I mean, all of it. She's a throwback. She is the best post player in the country, hands down. I will argue that with anybody. And she's just been a terrific, player for us and a leader for us. yeah, so, you know, nothing that Mac does surprises us just because, you know, the thing that's been different from a year ago is that she's just much healthier. You know, that knee was a little bit of a setback for a year ago, but she's, you know, she's healthy, confident. And it's just been, nothing but, pure joy to coach.
Thank you,
Lou?
Coach.
What's up, Lou?
Oh, congratulations, Terry, on
Thank
your
you.
Coach of the Year. And
Thank you.
on that subject a little bit, just about everybody who plays a lot got some recognition
Mhm.
from coaches or media. What does
Right.
that tell you about what the world thinks of your team these days?
I think anytime, you know, you can get voted by whether it's your peers or the media, you know, I think that especially by your peers, I think it, and no offense to the media that I'm in front of, but, you know, you know, there's something really special, you know, when, the players you play against and the coaches you have to coach against, think so highly of, you know, what you're doing in your program. And so, you know, I think we're humbled by it, but it's a great compliment, by, you know, what we've been able to achieve this year, whether it's individually or whether it's as a team. But, you know, I think you can ask any of us. It's, you know, we get the awards, but at the end of the day, this is all about our program and what women's basketball in Indiana has been able to accomplish. And it takes all of us. It takes everyone from our staff, support staff, to the players, to the athletic trainer, to the strength and conditioning player. These are all team awards, and I think we all feel that way.
Jerry?
What do you think it'll mean for Sarah to come home and play the Big Ten tournament at Target Center?
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that she and Lily, you know, Meister are both excited about coming back to their home state, you know, and playing in front of friends and family. You know, there's always something special about being able to do that.
Actually, on the
Um,
Zoom call.
And yeah, I think they're both looking forward to it.
I won't be
And
on, but
we're going to have a few Indiana fans here, but I think majority of them are going to be their families and friends of the Meisters, you know, or in the Scalias, which will be just great for us.
Seth?
Yeah, just back on Sarah. Sarah always has this kind of really locked in look on the court. Is that just kind of the same way she is in practice or off the court? And like maybe what's a favorite moment you've had with her this season that kind of sums her up?
Sarah is very much locked in. Sarah's very much quiet. Matter of fact, on my drive home last night, I thought to myself, I'm not even sure I heard her voice today in practice, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. But you know, she's very much an introvert. She's very similar to Grace Berger in that sense. But I do think that she has sort of a witty personality that only you can, you know, shows up off the floor. She's notorious for all of the hats that she wears. I don't know if that's a funny moment, but that's one of the things that stands out about Sarah Scalia. She had an unfortunate thing that happened with her apartment that she was living in where there was some water damage. And I've been told that the first thing that she went in to grab were all of her hats. So it gives you an idea or a sense of sort of Sarah and the things that are important to Sarah. And that's her hat wear. So.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you, guys.